my concern is that the Wisconsin economy is not growing at the rate of our neighbors. We're 9th out of 10 Midwestern states in terms of job growth under Governor Walker. We're also trailing the nation. We're 35th in terms of job creation. Right here in Brown County, we're still nearly 3,000 jobs short of the peak that we were at. If we look around us, there's other states like Minnesota that have gotten back all of the jobs that they lost and some more since the recession. And we're still lagging in Wisconsin, and unfortunately we're still lagging here in Brown County. So last week I introduced my jobs plan, Invest for Success. This really is a 40-page plan on how we're going to move Wisconsin's economy forward, how we're going to make sure that in the long run, Wisconsin has a top 10 thriving economy. First and foremost is we have to realign our public policy and economic development efforts around industry clusters. This makes sure that we are supporting whole industries instead of an old school economic development model that basically looks at just helping one company here or one company there. If you're able to strengthen entire industries and see growth in those areas, you basically have a much bigger impact on the economy. The second one is around workforce. And we have to make sure Wisconsin's workforce is going to align with the jobs of the future. Not only filling the current jobs, but making sure we're prepared to grow in those jobs. And research shows that Wisconsin will need 670,000 more degree holders, certificates or degrees, by 2025 in order to meet the needs and to compete for the jobs of the future. This means two things. It means investing in education, making sure, and second, it means we're aligning education around growing industries and the workforce needs. The third area is entrepreneurism. Under Governor Walker, Wisconsin is 48th in the country in terms of new businesses started. And yet something like 70% of new jobs are created by small businesses or new businesses. And you think of some of the great Wisconsin companies, most of them started right here in Wisconsin with an entrepreneur, and they've grown into billion-dollar companies right here. Well, we have to be starting those new companies that are going to be the engines for the future. Fourth is exports. We need to be a global state to be successful. A lot of markets that are growing around the world are ones outside of the U.S. At Trek Bicycle, where I was an executive, I headed up the European operations. I grew the sales from $3 million to over $50 million in a few short years. I was selling great Wisconsin products all over the world, which helped to create more good paying jobs right here. We can do a lot more of that, and we have to do a lot more of that because that's how companies are going to grow and grow jobs. And the last area is the environment, a good environment. It means holding the line on taxes. It means being competitive. It means having safe and strong communities and vibrant communities, making the type of investments we need. And one area that I outline in that fifth strategy is our rural economies and making sure that agriculture is strong for Wisconsin. There's a lot that is tied to our agricultural economy, whether it's food processing in manufacturing or even in the farm implement businesses. A lot of what we do is based on our tradition and our strength in agriculture, and yet we saw over the last 5 years a drop of nearly 9,000 farms right here in Wisconsin. So I outlined strategies where we should be able to stop that flow or at least reduce that flow because it's important to our rural economies. So that's a quick summary. There's obviously many more things in there in the 40 pages, but it is around 5 core strategies that will move Wisconsin's economy forward.